Hey guys, it's me again. Instead of making a new redesign, I'm going to be revisiting my very first redesign. This was a redesign of Raibaru, and her name is Aoi Konico. With art improvements and a new name for Calamar's Osana being Reika Nakamura, I'm going to be changing a few things, including her backstory, her ties to Reika, and a few of the many ways Aoi can either help or hinder the player. First off, Aoi's age. She cannot retain her blue uniform if she's only 1 year older than Reika and Himari, so instead she'll be a year older than Mayumi. I'll have to change this if Callie is to ever change her official uniform for this age group, and I might just end up giving her one of Callie's official ones if I run out of years to put Aoi in, but for now, if Reika and Himari are freshmen, then Aoi is a junior. Next off, her ties to the newly named Reika. Let's say that Reika has been doing Twitch for a few years. 2 years before the events of the game, when Reika was in 7th grade, freshman Aoi found a Twitch streamer named Nekomura Gaming. She was an instant fan and eventually became a subscriber and a top donor. Mura-chan, the alias that Reika went by online, often found herself having many interactions in the chat with Aoi's online name, which was blue_stars_XX. At some point, Reika made a Discord server for her Twitch following, and of course Aoi joined it. But then, Reika made a surprising move and added her as a friend and even DM'd her. They ended up becoming friends and exchanged names. At some point, Aoi mentioned her school, and Reika asked, "You mean the high school I'll be going to?" Ecstatic at finding out they were really close to each other, they sought to learn what else they had in common. When Aoi, who was in the martial arts club, mentioned new member Seiya around a year before the events of the game, Reika asked for a last name. Aoi gave it, and Reika said that was her friend. Eventually, Seiya introduced them to each other, and they were ecstatic to finally meet in person. At some point, however, Aoi had developed a crush on Reika. When she wanted to tell her, however, she learned Reika had a crush on Seiya and decided to keep quiet as to help her friends. You guys already know her matchmaking method with Reika since it's largely unchanged. However, what you don't know is much of Aoi outside of Reika. The mistake I made with my first video was spending time connecting Aoi to Reika as a suitor, but not enough on Aoi herself. Or as an obstacle, or any other ways Himari can manipulate Aoi into becoming a pawn to help her. Aoi is from a strict home. Her backstory is like a less cartoonishly exaggerated version of Nicole Watterson's. Her parents push her to be the best and often mock her for watching YouTubers and Twitch streamers. They mock people who pursue careers like that, calling them lazy leeches who live off welfare, despite the fact many people can make a living off of YouTube and Twitch. They instead push her to be a strong and independent woman and always told her not to waste her time with romance. Despite the fact she tried to imagine her future without love, Aoi always found herself longing to have someone. She had to let go of her crush on Reiko, and she learned of Seiya being Reika's crush because she knows she's not allowed to love. She needs a final push from the player to make her choose her own interests instead of what the more logical part of her brain says. To ignore her feelings, please her parents, and let Reika be with Seiya. If the player does not matchmake them, Aoi will still be present. For example, if Himari befriends Reika, she in turn befriends Aoi. This is incredibly helpful as the player can tell things to Reika and Aoi that could damage a rival. And if the player sabotages Reika or doesn't do anything, but Reika is rejected anyways because tutorial rival, Aoi is still an obstacle. For example, she's an extrovert and very popular, so oftentimes rivals will say hi to her and even hang out for some periods of the day. And those that are club leaders will have her visiting their clubs, as she does want to eventually rejoin a club in her senior year. She can also be befriended, which can in turn get the player close with Seiya. She will also apprehend Himari if she murders anyone in her line of sight, and will tell the guidance counselor if she sees you doing things like setting up an electric shock trap by the water fountain or putting a bucket of water on the door. Just because Reika is no longer your concern does not mean she nor Aoi stop existing. If Reika is killed, Aoi will be devastated and get closer with Seiya than before, making it difficult to stalk him or get his attention. If Reika is murdered, Aoi will actively search for who may have done it. If you kill over 3 students, not just rivals, Aoi will become suspicious of you and stalk you, gathering evidence on you to start an investigation. She will also tell Seiya, and you stand no chance of gaining his love, unless, of course, you manipulate him. However, if you can deflect suspicion and act like you care, she will be a powerful ally, keeping you safe and being interested in everyone but you. You can try and put suspicion on rivals, which will cause rumors to be started, Seiya to reject them, their reputation to drop, and possible investigations started into the rival. You can only do this twice, however, and Muja, Mita, Hanako, and Megami cannot have this method used on them. Muja and Mita for not being present until they have to sub, Hanako for being in a different school, and Megami for her status. If Aoi catches you trying to deflect suspicion onto multiple girls that happen to like Seiya, she will become suspicious because you're obviously targeting people, and she'll tell Seiya her concerns. You can unlimitedly plant evidence that's fake to make her think that it could be these girls. However, there is no guarantee she'll ever find it. And if she does, it's still hard to even plant the evidence in the first place. If you continue to help Aoi for long enough, she will eventually open up to you about a lot of things and consider you her new best friend. When Megami exposes Ayano as actually being Himari, Aoi will stand by your side if you'd helped her in her investigations, claiming you obviously aren't dangerous. If Megami tries to claim you killed Reika, she will say, "No, she didn't. She and I have been searching for Reika's killer for months." If Megami can prove that Himari committed the murder, Aoi will go into a blind rage, using her martial arts training to hurt you, and she will break both of your arms in front of everyone before breaking down and crying for getting close to the person who had murdered her best friend and crush. If you don't take the route of helping Aoi, but you kill Reika, and it comes out that you did, Aoi will be very upset with you, but her outburst will not nearly be as violent as it was. So, that was my rework of Aoi Konico, Reika Nakamura's best friend, a young woman who can either be a lasting obstacle or a powerful ally, someone whose own dreams conflict with her parents' dreams, a more interesting character than Raiburu will ever be. Take notes, yandere dev. Sorry this video was so short. It was mostly just an addendum and not a full character transformation. Kawamara, if you see this video, please leave a comment so I can know you saw it, and if you want to, make a video on it. For the rest of you, I apologize that this took so long to make. I had gotten scripter's block for the longest time and had stuff going on. I'm not sure who my next redesign will be on, as my next few videos are probably not going to be Yansim related. However, this is not the last time that I cover it, don't worry. Make sure to like the video if you enjoyed, as it helps it perform, and if you want to see more, make sure to subscribe. If you're new, go ahead and check out my playlist on the channel for my Yansim redesigns while you're waiting for the next one. I will see all of you guys in the next video, whatever that may be, and goodbye!